Hi, take two. Previous attempt to go live was interfered by my inability to understand how this stuff works. So starting again, Darci here, and hopefully soon I'll see some people coming in. Right now I'm not seeing anyone, but I will keep an eye on that before I actually start doing my review of the Sabbatical Beauty Blush Beauty Oil. And I'm looking to see if this works, checking my notes. Trying to see if anyone is showing up. Let's see. Just checking. Hi, kitten. Okay. All right. So I at least have confirmation that I am visible, and I have a helper. She is suddenly really interested in what I'm doing, so apologies if she's obnoxious and annoying. All of a sudden she's really interested in me, so say hi, Nai. You can't hear her, but she's purring. She's very happy, and just trying to give it a minute for more people to show up. Thanks for the people who switched over. I am new at this, so I didn't think about where to start, and I went to the invite instead of the invite instead of that. Sorry, kitten, she's helping. So I'm just giving a couple seconds for people to get here. It's good to see. Hi, Quinn. Hi, Adeline. Good to see you. Thanks for coming over. See if anyone else can come through once they realize that I made a massive mistake. New user fail. And okay, good done. Good girl. So, all right. So again, just Darci here. I am going to do a quick review of the Blush Beauty Oil. It will be a product in the spring box. It will be available online soon. And I see I have somebody new, but I don't know who. We'll see. Oh, Courtney. Hi, Courtney. Good to see you. Oh, and more people. Sorry. Not sure who else here yet, but looking to see. Oh, Daphne, hi. Good to see you, my favorite potato. Good. Welcome. Apologies again for my late start, my inability to know how to do my job well. Yeah, favorite potato. No, good potato. I say that as a compliment with the most love possible. It's always a good thing. Hi, Hayne. Good to see you. Yeah, looks like we have a few people popping in and out. We'll see how this goes. And of course, if anyone misses the beginning, they can always catch it on the rebroadcast replay. There's that. And yeah, so like I said, my name is Darci, and I was asked to do a quick review of the Blush Beauty Oil. I received this as a very generous gift from Adeline for applying to be a reviewer for the spring box. And if you're wondering, this is the glory. Get my box, get my note that says, I hope you find this blush, or I hope this Blush Beauty Oil finds you well, Jess. And it does, very much does. The notes make the difference. And here is our full-size version. And you can see that it has dried rose petals in there, as well as a nice light colored oil that has enough room to show some movement. Hi, Jane, good to see you. Or Carol. Yes, this is beautiful. It's lovely. It's just decadent. And just for some history of this, as I understand it, this used to be a product that was only available in the full size because of the way that rose petals were. They wouldn't fit into the sample sizes. But Adeline has made changes since that allow her to make them into sample sizes. So I actually have a little tiny sample from being a tester where you can actually get the smaller ones and still get that beautiful suspension of those oils, as well as the petals that Hayne mentioned. Yes, Courtney, it is a very generous amount of the rose petals. It is just, it's stunning. And to quote Hayne from yesterday, there's something about this that makes me think it's what potpourri wants to be, but cannot achieve. It is just lovely. So What I did is very frantically did a, I guess, triple cleanse. I did bamboo cleansing oil, VCO, vacuum cleanser or vacuum cleaner cleanser oil, cucumber and mint. God, sorry, she's annoying. She's very helping. She's a happy kid, and don't let her fool you. But I did that, then the cucumber melt foaming cleanser. Cucumber mint. See, this is a good reason why I'm not an official reviewer. Words is hard. So the cucumber mint foaming cleanser, then the beauty water, did some APH, Asian Powerhouse, peat, and then marine, so that I have a freshly prepped skin so that you can see how it responds. I've used the blush beauty oil before, so I know that my skin responds well to it. So I want to show you how it reacts to my face specifically. If you have not used this before, make sure to do a patch test in an area that's sensitive, like your wrist or sometimes even jawline or neck, something to make sure that you are, yeah, thanks. I'm not the worst reviewer. I don't know if I say I'm great, but I'll definitely try to work on my skills. But definitely make sure that you patch test to see how that you're doing things. Before you put anything on your face, you should have an idea of how the product is going to work in your routine, how it's going to respond to your skin type. And I usually, introducing a new product, try to patch test for a couple days, because sometimes my skin specifically takes time to react. Shut up. Sorry, her mouse is trapped under the toilet, so we have very serious problems over here. Adventures in kittens. But first things first, patch test. The reason I'm not is because I've already used this product before. I know my skin will respond well to it. And with no further ado, here's the review. So this has like a subtle but like intoxicating scent that has floral notes that is refreshing. It's like real roses, not potpourri. I was talking to Hayne yesterday and mentioned that it is not like the thing you hear like get in like your grandma's house or a funeral parlor, the artificially rose scented things that are just so floral that it's nauseating. It's really lovely, and I just want to compare it to the Camilla Gold. Okay, it's a little bit more earthy or sweet. It's got more of that rose fragrance than the Camilla does, even though they have similar ingredients. Delicate yet floral. It's, yeah, sommelier, I wish. I feel that with respect to other Sabbatical Beauty rose scents, I think that Adeline hit it really well again, in that it has a rose scent without being overwhelming and over like falsely floral. But I feel like it's more delicate and more earthy than like the Rome Foaming Cleanser, the Camilla and Rose Mask, and the Rose Cream. So it's still in the same family, but I feel like it is consistently, hi Dana, consistently more delicate. It's just intoxicating without being overwhelming. And what I wanted to do for you is, aside from the fact of telling you that it is just beautiful, like for reals, there is a nice like full rosebud right there, like a full one. There's a part of me that is just really crushed because I don't know what's going to happen when I run out of this oil and I have these petals. I'm going to have to find a way to repurpose them and keep them because they are just too beautiful and well scented. And let's see, what I wanted to do is, with my fresh clean face, show you the potential difference between the Camilla Gold and the blush. Because like I said, they do have similar products and they do have similar goals and similar benefits. Like for example, both are good for hydration, brightening complexion. The blush is really good for hydrating, anti-aging, but it also has like sake extract, blueberry seed, blackcurrant, and other components that are going to be good for antioxidants, reducing appearance of wrinkles. The elderberry fruit will help with appearance of fine lines, skin conditioning. It's antimicrobial, and it has this lovely spring summer scent to it. It's lightweight, and I am a huge fan of the Camilla Gold. And I don't know how well this will turn out, but we'll see. But this is also lovely. If you're not familiar, it's got real flecks of gold in it. And this is going to take skill. On one side of my face, I'm going to apply just a little bit. This does smell really lovely. It's got that Camilla scent, also earthy, like a fine fragrance, but it doesn't have that floral note that the blush does. And for my skin type, I'm usually pretty basic, not too dry. I tend to have seasonal reactions, and you might be able to see that just adding that in added like a bit of a shine. And with my skin right now, the Camilla is actually just a little bit too much. You can see my hand is a little bit oily because I've been doing a better job of taking care of my skin. And I'm in Michigan, and right now, you know, because it's February, it's been 60. Over the last couple days, 50, 60. So my skin is moving more towards the spring amount of hydration needs. So this is the one that has the Camilla. Looks kind of nice, got a good shine, but it's a little bit too heavy for right now. Versus the blush, and again, I can't remember who taught me. I think it's just a mantra. I always shake it as much as possible to make sure that the actives are blending as well as they can, because they'll settle differently depending on their density in the products. But just taking a little bit and dabbing it on my hand. I'm doing this one-handed to try to not mix the oils. And see if we can like smooth her in. If we could invent smell-o-vision, you would be so happy. This is just like so lovely. It's so nice. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like people are having some connection issues. But also glad to see that at least some people appreciate them doing both oils. Yeah, and I have like the good skin where you can see that the complexity of the blush oil makes the skin respond a little bit quicker. Like I get a little bit more flushed with the color. That is just how my skin is. The more ingredients there are, the more it sort of flushes, versus like the Camilla Beauty Gold, which is just, what, 3? Yeah. 3 ingredients in gold, so 4. So it responds, but let me wash my hands so they're clean. You might notice that it is a more matte look compared to this one. That although I still have like a nice glow and a nice shine across my forehead, both sides of the face, the Camilla gives me just a little bit more glow, hydration, and oil than the blush. And so I think that blush is going to be perfect for all skin types. Like I said, I'm somebody who has like normal skin. I tend to stay on the medium side, sometimes dry, but I think this will be perfect in the summer. In Michigan, I had a hard time using the Camilla Gold because it was just a little bit too thick for humidity. But the blush, in comparison, just like seeps right in, gives me a nice matte effect, and it gives me moisturizing without feeling too heavy. And let me see. Yeah, it's already basically gone, and you can tell I pointed out that blush side went a little bit red quick, but it's already calming down because my skin's absorbing it really, really quickly, and it feels luscious. And it would probably do its job better if I'd quit touching it, but it feels so good. Sorry, Hane's all like adorable and like gorgeous, and I'm like, but it just feels soft. Like I just want to pet my face, and I know this is exactly what you're not supposed to do. So I promise I will, you know, wash my face after oiling it up. Rochelle asked if it seems similar to peat. I think that they would be really complementary. I didn't do the research of the comparison, but I think they have similar components and similar ideals. Like I actually put peat on first, It was, sorry, I made a note. I did Asian Powerhouse, peat, and then marine, and then I went to the oils. So I wanted to give it just a basis of my good serums and see how they worked. And it seems to complement the peat really, really well. It just absorbed it. And sometimes peat for me ends up being just a little bit too drying, like it firms my skin up really well. And this seems to be the perfect balance, that it's adding that hydration that my skin needs when I'm having some of the anti-aging ingredients that are in peat. But I think that's like a great idea. Oh, sorry, it's so, I wish you could pet my face, it's so soft. And I definitely love Camilla, like the Camilla Gold, like I love it, it's one of my favorites. But in comparison, I feel like this is going to be lighter, so that those of you who are saying that the Camilla is just a little bit too heavy, too thick, this is going to be perfect. And a question that came up yesterday in the unboxing was whether or not this would be good for oily skin. And I think consistently between the testers and reading about it and like feeling it on my skin, I think it's going to be an oil that would be kind to people who have oilier skin or people who have breakouts. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like my pores are clogging. I just feel hydrated and protected. It feels like my skin has a good barrier that is giving me nutrients and the hydration that I need, but also sort of combating my, I guess, aging. I don't know how well you can tell. I'm starting to show my age a little bit. Like, it's there. But that's what I should have done. Oh, texture like SBO? No. It's a little bit thicker. So, handy dandy. I have Sleeping Beauty oil right here. And if you see how that drops, it's pretty liquid for me, the one that I have. And it spreads really thinly. And then, let's see, in comparison, I don't know how well we're gonna be able to see like the drops, but if I drop it down, yeah, you can see it's just a little bit thicker. And it still spreads really thin, but my skin at least absorbs SBO like immediately. And I mean, they're both gone now, but this was the blush hand, and you can still maybe see just a little bit of like the shimmer. It's still taking time to absorb, whereas like Sleeping Beauty oil on this one is already gone and has a more matte feel than the blush. Yeah, so hi Amy. But yes, Sleeping Beauty oil, not oily. You like that texture? It's much closer to it than the other oils. I wouldn't say that they're, identical, but they're in the same family, that there's a lightness to them and like a quick absorption rate. I just feel like the Blush Beauty oil maintains a little bit more of that, I think viscosity is the word I'm looking for, so that it adds like a layer of hydration. So I feel like it is going to add a component that SBO doesn't, or lighter, a little bit more subtle than like the other beauty oils. And I say this as like a fan of all of the oils. I never realized how important adding oil was to your routine until being introduced to Sabbatical Beauty, and now it's part of my staple. I need to have oils in my cleanser in my final step at night. It's been really useful. So I think if you are looking for this final step for oil, this would be really good. It's light, it's hydrating, it's effective, it packs a punch, but it is going to be amazing for more tropical climates, spring, summer, if you need just like a hint of that moisture or that protecting element. Let's see. Yeah, no, I mean, forehead still looks like nice and glowy. I keep touching this side of my face, so it's definitely, yeah, Amy, I agree, it's very soothing. There's something just relaxing about it that I will be entirely candid. I had a crap day today. It was not pleasant. But you might have noticed, like, the second I sniffed it, to explain the scent to you, I just felt calm. It's a really soothing scent, but it's also really soothing on the face. And if I would quit touching this side of my face, it would probably look like as absorbed as it does over here. Like, it would probably match this side of the face more. And touch-wise, the Camilla side still feels like a little bit oily. My skin hasn't absorbed it all the way. This side just feels matte, but dewy. It still feels hydrated and good, but it has a much more not matte. I taught all day today. My words aren't working. I gave like 75 students the benefit of my good speaking. You guys got the short end of the stick there. But it has a very fine, matte, like soft, supple feel to it. And I guess supple is a word I haven't used yet, that even though this does seem to be a subtle oil with respect to like fragrance and a little less coating than other ones, my skin still feels really supple. It feels really good. And looking at the difference between the sides, even though it is a thinner oil, I think my skin is responding like just as well, if not better. Like, my skin loves it. It eats it up. I can't wait for our weather to actually change so that I can see how it really works in the summer. Because in the summer, for me, I have to rein my routine back a little bit because it just ends up being too much. Yeah, see, I need a guest speaker tomorrow, or my next class. I need all sorts of guest speakers. That's what we can do. Sabbatical beauties, come talk to my students, teach them all the ins and outs of like philosophy and ethics, share with them what we need to know. But yeah, so we're getting close to the 7:30 mark. So I just wanted to see if there's anyone else who had questions or things that I hadn't addressed or things that you want to know, or reactions, comparison to other products. Not seeing anything popping up, but if you have any, please, share them. Oh no, we're getting bad weather too, Amy. I think we're getting like forecast of like snow and ice like tonight. So Michigan, where I'm at, is in a weather warning because we're getting ice and snow and sleet and stuff. But the weather change that I want it to be spring and summer so I can enjoy life again and see sun again and see how these products really work, because they're doing fantastically right now when my skin is not at its best. I can only imagine what it's going to be like when the climate becomes more kind. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Alan. I hope it wasn't the worst. But I really can't wait for this to I can't wait for like this to become available to all of you because you're going to love it. So comparing it as a final step rather than a cream, I find that this, at least for my skin type, absorbs better. Sometimes creams end up feeling like I still have like a coating on it, but I also feel like creams can seal in things a little bit more. So if I was really going to be around like harsher or my skin was really dry, I would want that added layer of a cream, because with the way my skin responds, it creates like an almost noticeable barrier. With this, I feel like my skin just absorbed it and now is more hydrated, but without feeling it. I feel like there's nothing here, except I can tell that it feels better. So I feel like it's more delicate than a cream. And I wonder, well, I still have time. Y'all are still here. Let's see what happens. If you haven't gotten the Ecotrina, I don't know how to pronounce it, I apologize. This stuff is amazing. Next time it's available, buy it. Let's see what happens if I do both. So this is a pretty thick cream, which I love. My skin responds well to it. It just takes longer for my skin to absorb. And I end up feeling like I have a kind of like a noticeable barrier on it when I use like a cream. It takes longer for it to absorb, unlike the blush. And I would say, ooh, hold on. I'm washing my hands. I'm trying to do real science for you. Be thorough. Hold on. All right, so, oh, good news. The Ekaterina creams are still available on the site. Buy it while you can. I know I just said that my skin tends to need less moisture and hydration in the spring and summer, but there definitely have been times when I've used a thicker cream like this in the spring or summer, especially if I have a sunburn or something and I need to mend damage. And it lasts forever, so if you haven't bought it yet, buy it. Having put that cream on, actually, Amy, you're like brilliant, because I hadn't considered that. I usually don't put a cream on top of an oil because on the Camilla side, it's just too much. Like, I can tell that my skin would pill if I put makeup on it. But on the blush side, it just absorbed much quicker, more than it normally does. I can barely feel like that residue. And I don't want to say residue in like a bad way, but usually, like I said, creams, I have to take a break between adding that step and doing anything else to my face, even sunscreen. But with the blush oil, it just feels soft and nice. And I was trying to see about like scent-wise, because they seem really complementary, but there's like a similar component, but I can't put my finger on it, but they smell really good together. But yeah, great question, Amy. Because I was going to say that there's a part of me that prefers the beauty oil to the cream, but I might start using the blush beauty oil with the cream on top of it, because it just gave it a really good canvas to absorb that material. Like, I feel like it spread better, much more than like the side. The side will be fine if I'd quit touching it, but wow, I'm in love. Yeah, maybe do that. Buy them both. See what happens. It almost makes me think I could use the creams more in the summer than I do, if that's the reaction that it has to it. Good. So, any other questions, comments, things that I missed while some of you are still here? Anything else you want to know? Nothing. Oh, yeah, sorry, no, beat the hell out of my face doing all this touching, but it feels great, looks great, and I'm not feeling any like clogging of my pores. Like, it's really good. And oh, thanks, you guys are way, way, way too kind. Hopefully next time I do a video for y'all, it'll be just a little bit less scattered, a little bit more helpful. But thank you to everyone who's been here. I appreciate it. And to everyone who ends up watching this, thank you. We appreciate your support. And if there's any other questions that you would like addressed, feel free to just comment at the end of the video, and I'll like pop in and follow through to see if there's anything else I can come up with. Or if you want more, oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, buy everything. You need to. I did. Oh, Amy, you'll be just as good. Yeah, this is gonna be fine. Or if you want me to try more science and experience, let me know. Like, I'm happy to like schlep things on my face and see what happens. And before I forget, I have used Sleeping Beauty oil on top of blush, and it does not seem to have a negative effect on Sleeping Beauty oil. It still seems to absorb really well and be effective. So if you were concerned about that, because I know, I can't remember who, somebody asked about SBO, but they seem to work really well together. But yeah, thank you so much. I think that's where it's my time to go. If you can, stick around for Kristen's unboxing. I think that starts at 8, and I'm really excited to see how she's responding to this material and these products. And Blush Beauty Oil is one of the things that will be in her box. So I hope to, I look forward to seeing how she responds to it, and if she has a reaction or information that's as helpful, more helpful as like Hanes, more helpful than mine. It should be a good review. So thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for bearing with me and my crazy like mouse hunting cat. Have a good day, beauties.